wait for people to show up. See if it tweeted. It was supposed to tweet. Oh, it did. See if this works. Do. 0 viewers. A grand total of one viewer. Outstanding. I really should bring up the chat, shouldn't I? So I can see this. So as people talk to me, I can see it. There we go. All right, so let's do that so I can see. 5 viewers. Excellent, excellent. I can chat there. Very good. No chat works over here. Nope. Let's turn that off. We'll do chat in the YouTube. 6 viewers. All right. That's enough. I'm going to do some coding now. Share my screen. We will share that screen. 7 viewers. I am sharing my screen. Outstanding. I'm going to flip back over so I can see anyone chatting. There it is. More viewers on my IO broadcast. I would certainly hope you did. All right, so what I'm going to do is I have the live ASP.NET thing running locally here, the site. Here it is, running on localhost. Make sure I didn't break it. Still going. Very good. And I'm going to migrate this to 2.0. So let's go to branch. Check out -b. I'm supposed to spell it right. To preview 1. So we're in a branch. Let's get going. So first thing I'm going to do, see if I can do this the UI way. What does this do? I'm going to retarget. Ooh, look at that. .NET Core 2. We'll save that. And then NuGet's going to get all busy on me now because, I've changed things and you can see VS is happily going off and doing stuff, but I don't want the stinky L packages. I want the great hotness, the new stuff. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to change all of this to use the new awesome, which is the meta package. So let's delete all that. Oh, that was probably a little much. Just delete this. We'll change this to preview file. We want the .all package, which is the everything package. It includes literally everything. We're going to want this. I could use stars in here, rather than knowing exactly what it is, but we'll be specific. I know that it is final one. I've already upgraded my App Insights SDK reference. I did that yesterday, I think. So in theory, I should just hit save now, and there should be no errors. It should just work. Restore completed in 758 milliseconds. That seems incredibly unlikely. There you go. There you go. My guess is that was the tools restore, because it does 2 restores in parallel that completed that quickly. I can have a look at that package manager, so you can see here. So yeah, and that time didn't add up to this time, but never mind. So that was the tools restore. That'll be the main package restore. And then if I don't have any errors, so that's good. Come over NuGet, and sure enough, there we go. Now I'm using ASP.NET Core.all to our preview 1 final. Let's see if it builds. I'm going to expect some build errors here because there have been some very minor breaking changes. There we go. Build failed because I'm using organizational auth. And there you go. Authentication stuff has broken, which is what I expected. Use Azure App Services is gone because I must have deleted a reference to that. And that's not included in that meta package, I guess. So I guess I should add that back. So let's do that. We'll run through these errors one at a time. Azure App Services integration, I think. Is that the name of that package? A quick way to find out. NuGet. Sweet. And there is a, preview to, so let's save that. Restore that. Great. Rebuild. Should have 1 less error. Hello, people who have joined. All right, what do we got? So we deprecated this thing, compact on memory pressure, because it didn't work properly. So we got rid of it. So let me go and delete my reference to that. I don't know why double-click navigation isn't working. That's unfortunate. Service extensions. It's not there anymore. So I don't need to turn it off anymore. Okay, good. Build again. IntelliSense is being a little not getting colorization, so unfortunate. All right, so this is all auth, so that's good. Auth, obsolete, 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 auth, auth. Right, so everything that's not compiling is auth, which is expected because we basically redid the security subsystem or the auth subsystem based on much feedback from people. So let's go and attempt to get all this compiling again. Given my IntelliSense doesn't seem to be working very well, I'm going to, after updating, I'm going to close, make sure I've saved, close this solution. I'm going to reopen it again and see if my IntelliSense works this time. Hello, Christian. Thank you for joining. Let's see if my IntelliSense works. Oh, that's better. I see colorization. That's a good start. Very good start. All right, let's go back. Okay. Just checking back in here on chat and things. All right. So we have some errors here. Very good. So we've got add auth, sign-in scheme, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it doesn't like that anymore. So the quickest way for me to fix this, because I'm lazy, it's probably going to be for me to, well, it's a couple of things. Let's move to the new API. So we have this new web host API. I don't need to use this thing anymore. So I'm going to do, I guess what I could do is start another instance of VS, and I'll create a new project from scratch in 2.0, just so I can see how the templates do it now, see what's idiomatic. And that'll save me a whole bunch of trying to figure this out manually by reading announcements or docs or anything like that. So I'm going to choose this. I'm going to come over here. I want to do this one. So this will be interesting because this is like, follow bouncing ball type stuff. So let's see if this works. Let's do this. No idea. Microsoft. Come. Oh. Org. Authentication. Yes. Probably should move this one up here, shouldn't I? So you can't all see my password. Changed recently, so I have to think hard about what I changed it to. See if I got that right. Okay, good start. Looks like it's not kicking me out. All right, two-factor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, approved. Let's see. Bring this back down. All right, let's see what this does. Come on. It's thinking. Oh, what? Okay, so that's obviously the wrong domain. Let's have a look. Let's go back to my other app. Let's have a look what the domain is here. Do I have a... maybe it's that one? Login? I don't know. Where does all this stuff live? I did this so long ago. Beta something. Let's say. Nothing. Oh, there we go. Domain name of your Azure Active Directory tenant. I don't know if it's that or if it's... What does that do? Ah, really? It's a lot of... Oh, it remembered at least. Let's have a look, see what it does. It's thinking. Nope, wrong domain. Try one more, and then I'll just go and read the source code, the templates. Signed in. Nah, all right. What we'll do is super annoyed. I don't know what this is. What we'll do is we'll go and straight to the horse's mouth. Templating. Feed. We'll go into Web Project Templates 2.0, Content, Starter Web C#, and then we will do Startup, I guess. Yes, look at all this conditional stuff. All right, so if I'm doing org-auth, which is this one here, we've got a rewriter. Here we go. This is what I want. So if I'm doing org-auth, I need to add Azure AD authentication. See, much easier than it used to be. Let's go and do that. And in theory, all this stuff can go away. What we'll do for now is well, no, I want the policy. That needs to stay there. But this thing seems to change. Let's do that. It has to be brought in, controlled up my way. No quick actions available. What? Add Azure AD authentication. And what namespace is that in? org-auth. Here we go. No. Extensions, options. Pretty sure I've already got that. Yes. org-auth. Ooh, that looks new. Let's try that one. Application to OpenID Connect. Ah, see. Good. No. Of course, I could be looking at the wrong version of the templates. 16 days ago. That looks like it was before we would have made any other changes, but I could see this says preview 2. I could flip back to this version. It looks the same. Doesn't look like they changed anything. Add Azure AD authentication. Okay. Could be in a package that I don't have, which was a little surprising because I have done the all package. Let's go and have a look. Come back to here. Actually, I'll go back to the templates when I look at what they have. So if I go to here, I go to here, and we find, is there any condition for org-auth? I see one for individual. Nothing particular there. Package ref is all. Entity framework. I don't use entity framework. So there's nothing there. So all should be enough. Although again, that is the wrong point in time. Let's try that one. No, nothing there. All right, so let's go back. Web project directory access level. org-auth is true. No idea what that is. Okay, we'll find out. Startup. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? org-auth authentication to extensions. Did I add that? I don't think I added that. That could be it. I mean, it would be surprising if that's it because it should be brought in by quick actions for me. It should know. It's not funny. Have a look. That fails. What you do? Oh. Why isn't this working? Nope, nothing in there. Add Azure AD authentication. What about add Azure? No. I guess at this point, I've added a bunch of stuff. I could. Nothing in here at all. Okay. In the wrong repo? Security. Boss. Don't see Azure in there, actually. Oh, that's interesting. It's not in there. This is different stuff. App Insights, Azure App Services, hosting. No. Where is it? Pretty sure it's in here. It's not that. Maybe it's this one. I mean, it is. But I'm not seeing anything to do with Azure here. AD sample. Okay. README. Interesting. Let's have a look. Don't know how up to date that is. OpenID, job bearer, auth properties, token cache, blah, 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 blah. OpenID Connect Azure Startup. That looks good. What's that doing? Let's have a look. Configure services. Add auth. This looks like the old stuff. I'm not seeing. Maybe look in Dan's demo from build. Project construction. Did he do org auth though, John? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I don't sure if he did. But Dan Roth 7. Not sure. Yeah, I didn't think he had. This one. This one. He has Azure AD B2C, but I'm not using that. And authentication extensions, I have that. And I shouldn't have to add any other packages because they should all be in the old package. Indeed. Gosh, whether that's there. That must be a workaround for something. Let's go back. Let's just double check some things here, hey? You get this one. Okay, got all my stuff. Good. Good, good, good. What was he doing in his startup class? Didn't look that. Seriously, where are these coming from? Added any service authentication? I would think, oh, there you go. Well, that's interesting. ASP.NET Core authentication.extensions. ASP.NET Core authentication.extensions. What is bringing that in? Doesn't exist. Well, that'll be why I don't have any extension methods. Question now is why? Let's go back to here. Let's go back to, I guess I could go back to this repo. I could do this. Okay. So all these samples, I don't see extensions in here actually. Yeah, I'm not seeing those there. I'm not seeing that namespace actually. Not in security, maybe? What it was. We have, it's all in that repo. Okay. Back into here. He's bringing in all, same version. I'm not using that. I'm not using that. Why is he bringing in dependency model extensions? I'm guessing that's a workaround for some issue that we fixed late in the milestone because it's not in the templates. I mean, I can add it. We'll just see what happens. I'm sure this is going to work because I'm pretty sure that's on Migrate, a different feed because he has a NuGet config. Yeah, see? Core build. So he had stuff set up before it had all been released. So that's not indicative of much, but this is missing because that is missing, but that's what the templates use. So this is confusing. Maybe I should give this template another go. Kind of stumbling at the first hurdle here, aren't I? Just trying to get my auth to work. All right, so let's go and try then the announcements repo. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay. Auth middleware are now all services. Okay. Use OpenID Connect authentication. That's the old. In the new, you do add OpenID authentication connection. Do I have that one? OpenID Connect authentication. I do have that one. Options. Okay. And that looks similar. Then you add auth, authentication will obsolete. For more details, see this. Main tracking issue is this. I'm not seeing that helper method for Azure AD, which is obviously what this thing is supposed to bring in. So this is in the security repo. We come in here, go back to the root, go back to here, go into here maybe, collection extensions. See, that's where I would expect those to be. Add auth, add scheme. There's nothing there with Azure. No, auth app builder extensions. That's the middleware, use authentication. So I have to do that. I can do that because all that has changed also. That's why none of this stuff works. So this all changes now. App.use authentication. That's good. All right. All goes away. All goes away. Configure all that stuff, and we'll fix that bit in a minute. And you have to configure all this stuff up here. So there's my auth. It's here, right? Let's try this. Right, so this is kind of the stuff that I had in here. So, what is that on there? Automatic authenticate? Nope. I saw something about that in the. I think it's this stuff. Yep, that's there. So that's good. Options dot authority. Okay, good. Options dot. The response type. Yep. Okay. And this one, sign in scheme. Oops. Options dot sign scheme. There it is. All right, so that's all there. Okay, that's a start. If you come back over here to this, it did say something about automatic. Here we go. We centralize the setting to default. Also, if there's only a single scheme, it's going to default. So now when you add auth, so it's down in the thing. I see. You can do this. Okay. So I guess I would come down here, do this. And then, nope. No overload takes on arguments. Oh, add. Wait, what? That's wrong. Services.add. Is that the wrong no overload for this? There's literally no overlay for that, so that's all wrong. So back up here. I want OpenID Connect auth. I want to sign in using cookie, and I want to auth using cookie, I guess, so that when someone gets challenged, they redirect using OpenID, and then that comes back and creates a cookie, and we'll see if that works. Because previously you would have done add auth of cookie. This is what I did before. Okay. I'm guessing if I had the Azure AD extension method, this would all kind of be done for me. I'm having to do it manually because I can't find the extension method for some reason. All right, so we'll abandon that for the moment. Go back now to my program main, and we'll update all this to look like the new stuff. So I can now get rid of all this and do web host create default builder. That'll default to Kestrel, default my logging, it'll default my configuration. I still want to use App Insights explicitly. I still want to use Azure App Services. Okay, so that's much simpler. Don't need that anymore. My startup, I don't need to take in this stuff anymore. I'm not doing any of this anymore. I simply need to grab configuration. It's going to be set up during the hosting phase. And I need to stick that configuration. There we go. So now I've got that. Change that to iConfiguration. Now I can still pass that through everywhere else. We also have convention-based configuration support for a bunch of this stuff. I believe all this stuff supports it, so I could actually not do this, but let's just take this one step at a time, get this working. Here's my custom authorization stuff still. None of this stuff changes. MVC. This is all my custom stuff. None of this changes. Okay, and then I don't have to do the logging stuff anymore. Certainly not here, because that's all set up now in program main. So that's done automatically. It's logger. I'll comment that out for the moment. We'll deal with that a little bit later. And console logging. This I shouldn't need to do this anymore. I had done this manually. I detected basically if we were running behind IIS, and then I would turn off console logging in that case. But that's fine. Okay. The build failed. One error. Okay, so in my account controller, sign in. Okay, because I've got all the old account stuff. See, this is why I really need the template to work. I need to port all this to the new stuff. All right, well, let's go back to the template repo. Let's go back to the template repo. Where is it? One of these ones. No. There it is. And I want to find the account controller here. Starter web, C#, controllers, account controller. So, no, we're not doing those. No, where was it? So sign in, here we go. Okay. So that looks like what we're doing now. Oh, they've changed to using attribute routing too. Oh, I did that as well. Sign in, new challenge result. So that auth properties, redirect URI. Looks. Oh, did they change? Interesting. Turn challenge. One argument cannot convert. That's what the template says. Cannot convert auth properties to a string. So challenge is expecting string array, prime string array, or an auth properties, which I'm passing, and then a string array, prime string array. Okay, why is it not working? That's a string, right? Yeah. Why is it not calling the upload? Authentication to authentication properties. Is that the right one? Authentication. Ooh, I don't think it is. I think I need to delete that. That's right, because we've moved it to a different place. Here we go. Okay. That's because the security stuff is a breaking change. We've kind of done it in a side-by-side namespace, as you can see here. It's intuitive. Well, I get it, but when you make changes like that, you don't. Sometimes you have to make namespace changes like that to make it a little more straightforward. Okay. All right. Build. Okay, builds. That's a good start. Let's go back to where I was browsing this thing. Was it this one? What's the chances that this is going to work? Probably going to explode horribly. Oh, can't be reached. Very good. Let's go back. F5, see if it launches. Yeah, of course, it dumped me over into a different one. All right. Null ref. Good. Policy builder.require claim. Start up in line 52. 52. What do we got here? That's a null ref? That's interesting. Okay. Really? That's a null ref? Is that true? Saying policy builder is null? Options.add policy. Did all this change as well? I didn't think it did. Maybe it did. Let's have a look. Policy in here. All right. They're super old. It's all super old. That's 1-1. So that's not it. Authorization. Nope. Okay. I'm getting a null ref. I am getting a null ref at add auth during startup. And I'm getting it on that line, which is super strange, actually. Because I can't imagine that the policy builder would be null. Like, what's the point of the API if the policy builder is null? Or it's a bug. This is, of course, the other option going on here. So let's see if we can just comment our way out to glory here. We can at least get the app to render the home page. All right, client ID must be provided. All right, so here we go. Authentication, OpenID Connect. So that looks like where we are. We're in the middleware, it seems. Hard to tell because I've been re-entered under the diagnostics page. And it says client ID must be provided, which I thought it was because we're doing it right here. Okay. And that should be correct. Rewriter, use auth there. Okay. Let's see if ping works. Nope, because auth runs before ping. Okay. The feeling that this is failing because I haven't set up my auth correctly. All right. What other options are in here? Exploration. Default auth scheme. I did all that. Default challenge, scheme map, schemes, add scheme. Okay. What did that do? Scheme name, authentication scheme builder. Seems like that would do that, doesn't it? Okay. What else is in this one? All right, what do we got here? Scope, blah, 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 sign out, sign in, scheme, whole bunch of stuff. Authority. Oh, auth is so complicated. Okay, I really want these templates to work. Let's go back and look at, where was it? No, that one. Yep, okay. Let's go back to here. Find organizational auth. Are you sure your config has values? Would explain the null ref. That's true. That's a good point. Let's have a look. That's what it is because I call my files something different to the defaults. That's exactly what it is. And now I'm relying on the defaults and my things don't match up to the defaults. It doesn't work. So maybe I should just go back to the defaults and make my life easier. So let's do that. Thank you, Carl. I had forgotten that I had tried to be clever in this project. And that's right. And now I remember you can't rename nested stuff. So let's do this the old-fashioned way. We'll come down here and we'll change this. We'll change this. Production.json. CVS respond, maybe, kind of. Nested items. Save all those. Here we go. It's getting there. There we go. Well, it's still saying cs.json. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's because it's still there. Wait. Are they the same file? Wait, what happened there? That's my app settings.json. Okay. It duplicated the file. Well, that's a bug. Let's just delete that one. All right. There's my two files. Okay. That's better. Okay. Let's give it a kick. Let's come into back to where I was. It's F5. Okay. Different error. That's good. And the policy wasn't found because I commented that out. So that's good. Now I can unwind. Back, hit F5. It's going to recompile. Getting closer, getting closer. Yeah, I have a home page. Let's see if I can sign in, hey? Let's go to my sign-in browser. Hit F5 on the admin screen, and it explodes. All right, so no auth handler is configured to handle the scheme cookies. Well, that's good. At least I got my home page, and now I've got some issue with configuring this stuff, which makes sense because I have no idea what I'm doing in this new stuff. So to fix that, we're going to go back again to source truth, which is the templating repo, which was here. And I'm going to flip through here. They're all usings. If all auth, add, okay, boring. Gee, that wasn't much, was it? Here. See, this is the problem. I don't have that extension method. Where is that extension method? Add Azure AD authentication. Where is that? It seems to be in this thing, but I can't find that. Microsoft ASP.NET Core authentication.extensions. You get package, is it? Oop. Obviously a namespace in some other package, but I can't seem to get that to work. Do that. There's no such namespace. It's like, okay, so get rid of it. You don't need it. It's like, well, I don't want it. Where is it? Where is it? Because without that, I mean, if I can find the source code for it, I can simulate it, obviously. So if I go into here and I go for add, see, this is what I did. That method, see, it doesn't exist here. I guess we go up to here. Nothing. Add Azure AD authentication is not a thing, apparently, according to GitHub, and yet it is used in our templates. Add Azure AD authentication. Wait, that might be in the template. I see what's happened here. Look. There it is. Okay. This is bringing back memories now. Okay. There it is. Look. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. So rather than copying all this stuff in, I'm just going to... Okay. So it adds... Oh, wow. Okay. So it does all this stuff. Okay. Did I say already that auth was complicated? I think I did. Grab this. There we go. So I was missing... There's OpenID. Okay, so I've got that one. So I just needed the cookie auth. That's what was missing. And given that the template adds it after, I mean, it shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't, because I don't think they're sharing anything. All right, so add auth, add the OpenID connect scheme, add the cookie scheme. Okay. And then add cookie auth, this one, Azure AD options. Oh, goodness. It's a lot of stuff. Okay, options get section Azure AD bind. Okay. Holy smokes. Okay. We configure the Azure AD. We configure those. We add web application authentication. I don't know what that is. It's probably one of these. Oh, lordy. Look at all this code. Look at all this code. Oh, well, we'll see what happens, hey? I've got more stuff in there now. F5, see my homepage still loads. Okay, homepage still loads. Does my auth page? Oh my goodness, it works. Okay, so I'm signed in. Well, that's good. That's weird. Don't know what's going on. Oh, look at that. That's Edge. now has a date time picker when you choose date time. But oh my goodness, doesn't that just look horrific? It's aligned terribly. Oh well, that's weird. Anyway, nice. Okay. My app is working. If I hit save, go back to here, hit F5. Look at that. The app works. It's working. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to commit because it works. I'm going to use new GitHub desktop thingy. So I'm totally new to this. So let's figure out what I've done. Yeah, I renamed those files, app settings.json. I'm adding app settings.json. I'm adding production.json because I want the defaults. Updated my account controller, updated my project to Netcore App 2, changed all my package references to the new goodness. That's good, that's good. App services integration. I'm surprised that's not in all. Okay, I'll have to follow up on that. Okay, change this to use the new default builder. That's good. Changed. Oh, yeah, changed my service extensions class to not call the memory cache API that has been removed. And finally, my startup class, obviously, which you all saw me go through and change. All right. Update to 2.0 preview 1. Commit to that. All right. So that happened. So let's go ahead and start trying to use some Razor pages. This will be interesting. So I'm going to actually refactor this app. So I guess I'll just start with the home page, right? So I'm going to create a pages folder. We'll start with the simplest possible thing, which is the pages folder. And I will grab, I'm just going to copy this file. I'm going to paste it in here. So I'm going to grab the current index view and I'm going to paste it into, come on, VS. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Into the index, into here, right? So that becomes my home page. And so I'm going to, the app page. So now I've made this a page. Simple as that. I'm going to grab the home controller's code. So my index code is right here. Okay. So I need to create a page model. So I'm going to add class in here. Index.cshtml.cs. Gets nested underneath. And we'll call this index model. We'll derive from page model, which is in Razor pages. And we'll say public void on get. It's probably going to be async. I guess we'll find out in a second. And I'll paste that code in here. So this is the paid code that came from my existing home page. So I had a parameter that came from the query string. So I will got some dependencies. So I'm going to have to get this. Basically, I'll just copy all this and I'll rename it. So my constructor is now that. Pull in the world. We'll pull in that. Very good. Looks like I have some copyright guff. Paste at the top of my file. Okay. Oops. Okay. Using. Okay. Now what do we got? Doesn't like me there because I haven't marked this as async task. Okay, don't need this anymore because my home view model is actually this page. It is the view model. So I have to go and find my home view model, which was here. And I'm going to grab all this. I already had quite an expansive view model because now I have a page model. So we'll stick all my properties here. I'll move my static read-only stuff up to the top. Okay, static read-only constructor, properties, control dot, and then the bring in the URL encoder, and then the handler method. Why has that stopped working? Oh, really? Did I? Oh, that was silly of me, wasn't it? Okay, so I don't need to do this anymore. Home view model. I simply need to map it onto me, onto myself. So, right. Home view model both times, wasn't it? Yep. then rather than returning anything, I can just do nothing. Okay, so now I've got my import there. Okay, so there's my handler method. Where is that called from? Add to Google URL. That's interesting. Where was that used? Home view model. Add to Google URL. Where do I call that from? Oh, I call that from the page. Perfect. Okay, and so then if I go back to here, this is my page. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. This changes to index model. I'm going to have to set a namespace. So I want to add a view imports. I'm going to stick it in here in my pages folder. Using blah, add tag helpers, blah, that's all good. If I come back to here and I set my namespace, namespace is going to be live.asp.net.pages. All right, so now all the pages inside this folder will be generated inside that namespace, which means, ta-da, now I can see the index model because they're in the same namespace. The generated file class that gets made out of this CSHML file is now in the same namespace as the index model. It's one of the nice features that we added in the new version of Razor for Razor pages, but you can use it in MVC views as well. It's just you can set the namespace now, which is kind of nice. So you can reduce the number of usings required potentially. All right, so layout is all the stuff. I need to view start because I need to set my layout. You can share layouts between the two pages and views. That all just works fine. So there's my view start. It'll set layout to layout. Let's close that. So now I've got a layout page for my page. And in theory, nothing here should change. And I should get an error if it does because I've set my model. I copied all the stuff over. So all this code just works the way it did before. It's one of the nice things. All right, so this is, I won't change that yet. Okay. All good. Render a partial. Now, it's not going to find my partial because my partial, oh, it will actually, because we do look in shared. So that will actually work. All right, this is good. I can migrate this over slowly. Section scripts, that's all going to be fine, I think. All right. So that's my home page. Let's see if it works. So if I go to my home controller and I get rid of this, right, so now I don't have a home route. So my page should be the thing that responds to the home page. Let's go see what happens. Should just recompile behind the scenes. I shouldn't have to rebuild here. So we'll see if it horribly explodes. All right, I have to relaunch it apparently. So let's Control F5 it. Sometimes there are some, oh, I got a build error. That might be why. Ah, okay, so I have a redirect in here. So I'll just, what shall I do? I'll just cheat for the moment. Okay. Work obviously, but I don't really care. Trying to get the home page to show. Did it build? Build succeeded. Control F5. Loading, loading, loading. All right, what do we got? Unable to cast view data dictionary of object to type view data dictionary of index model. Okay, so it looks like I might be trying to use view data for some stuff that I don't want to anymore. So let's have a look. Where's that? Render section, pre-content required false. If model is on air. Okay, so where am I? Am I using view data in here? No. Sounds familiar. Sounds super familiar. Why? Is it a layout page issue? Shared layout. Okay, so I'm injecting some stuff. There's my view data title. Render section pre-content. So that's that line there because it's rendering the body here. That's going to be rendering the page in this case. Unable to cast from view data of object to view data of index model. This sounds super familiar. Page.getViewData. Could this be a bug? This could be a bug. This could be an interop bug between trying to use a layout in a views folder and a layout in the pages from a page. Let's have a look. So if I don't set that, what happens? It still explodes because it's trying to assign page.getViewData. I'm not using it elsewhere, am I? Okay. Okay. I could be using it in a partial, couldn't I? I show partial. Where's that? That's over here in shared. Nope, nope, nope. That's all fine. Ah, I'm passing in models. So that's not going to work. So that's the wrong model. That needs to be. Oh, that's interesting. I was kind of cheating before. I was just passing the model up into there. So I was just being lazy, really. Import. All right. So I did that because there's really no reason to do that. I could just stick this in straight in the page, couldn't I? So if I just do this, I just delete that and do that. If the live show is embedded, then do that. iframe, live show embed. Okay. See what that does. All right. Same problem. I've got any other partials in here. Okay. So for each show, I got the and I'm passing the show. So that one should be all right. It's a different model. I have its own model. I have a show as the model there, no view data. Yeah, this looks like it's a more fundamental issue. Shared. So when it renders section, then it gets into the page, it says if model is on air and it explodes. Assume that is actually the right line. As soon as I try and access the model, basically. Which, So the next thing I would try is copying this layout file. So grabbing that, copying that into my pages folder and just keeping them separate. And then I can investigate that issue separately. If this fixes it, then it looks like it could very possibly a bug in the interop support. All right, so in theory, nothing in here is, hopefully. So this is using a login partial. We'll see what happens. Okay. Same error. That's interesting. Okay. So let's go and have a look. If I got rid of this, I'm just trying to hack out anything that's looking outside of this pages folder. Just trying to make sure I'm not crossing the streams as we isolate this issue. So I'm still doing it here too, see? I could copy them in, obviously. Let's just see if I can't. Same issue. Okay. The next thing I would try is come to here, come to my view start, and not set the layout page. All right, so that works. Okay, so it does work. It's definitely to do with the layout page. Once I set the layout page, and I wonder if I set it explicitly, lunchtime. So it's definitely, it looks like it's finding the right one because I told it to find that one. So that's good. And then it explodes. But it's definitely something to do with my layout page. Is that the right one? Which one's that? Yes, that's in pages layout. All right, so view start. My view imports isn't anything special. No, that's all fine. Namespace is that. That's fine. HTML core. That's fine. Okay. And then we come down here. Nothing in here is particularly. So this is. I could update this while I'm here. So there's include now and exclude. Now you can say render this stuff when you're in development, and when you're not in development, render this stuff rather than having to name all the other environments. So that's kind of nice. I commented those out. I have a pre-content section, which I don't think I'm using here. Oh, I am using that here. Okay. Doesn't really matter. They're just sections. Oh, no, I'm using sections elsewhere. I'm just wondering whether this was an error using sections, but I am using sections in all my other examples. So I don't think it would be that. Okay, any other weirdness going on here? No, that's just some link generation. Let's have a look. That's my YouTube partial. I mean, it could be that because it is going across the streams. Obviously, I'm not going to get YouTube if I do that. Okay, look. Another partial in here. Commented out. Anyone? Okay, it's commented out. Did I keep these ones? Commented out. Commented out. Commented out. Commented out. Commented out. Okay, so I got no partials. So I should have nothing that's trying to find. Wrong one. Nothing that's trying to find views from the other hive. So far. So the next thing to do would just be to try a completely different layout page just to see. So if I add a new item in here and BCView layout, call it layout 1. All right, super bog standard, right? So then I come back into here to my thing and I say layout equals layout 1. And now I'm using my new layout 1. Come back, hit F5, it still fails. Oh, cannot be located. Well, that's a different error. That's because I didn't put underscore in front of it. All right. Okay, so sections have been defined that aren't rendered. Very good. So if I come back to here, I can say at render section scripts. I can say optional. Oh, that one, I see. Let's do this. I have pre-content. This is what all development really is, right? You just hack at things, trying to find, okay, so then it fails again, all right? So is it a problem with sections? If I come in here, let's have a look. If I got rid of this, comment that out. Let's comment the section for scripts out. Okay. That's interesting. That works. Back in, fails. What if I uncomment pre-content? Still fails. Okay, so it's definitely to do with either one of those sections. So the only thing I'm thinking is that I have a thing called post content, which is not being used. So could this just be a bug to do with unused sections? Okay, let's try that. Still doesn't work. So I have a section scripts. This is strange. I have a section pre-content, and I have section pre-content, section scripts. Okay, so let's empty them when their names are different, actually. Oh, this isn't going to be something ridiculous. Okay, good. It's not a casing error. Scripts pre-content. Oops, wrong one. Scripts and pre-content. So let's empty them. Get that out. Keep the sections, but we'll just completely gut them. Okay, so that works. Okay. If I uncomment the scripts one, explodes. All right, so they have tag helpers in them. I wonder. I'm not seeing anything in here. It's a cache tag helper. All right, if I comment out that block, still fails. All right, what about this block? Still fails. Doesn't seem to be sensitive to the content. Let's find out. Any razor content, if I put hello in here, that works. Okay. That works. What about some HTML? Okay, so at this point, you're basically watching me test and trying to figure out why this is failing. Comment that. Is it only when I access the model? let's try which one at model dot using in there. That's easy. Next go show that. So if I use the model in a section, that seems to be what it is here. Anytime I use the model in a section, it explodes. I am going to guess this is actually a bug. And, you know, let's isolate it. Let's go to a whole brand new app, because this is going to end this very quickly if this is true. Yeah, I haven't swan, which is amazingly. It's amazing I haven't swan. Usually I would be screaming by now. But, you know, apparently I flipped the switch in my brain, and I'm being very disciplined. Yeah, and that's what happens is the model is basically kind of bound to view data. And because of the way the view data dictionary is generic and it's based on the current model, and it seems that when we're crossing into using model into sections, which are a concept in the view engine that's shared between pages and views, there might be some code generation issue. It's generating the wrong member inside sections, which is why it's trying to assign the model to something inside there, and it's failing. So let's have a look. So let's just replicate it. So here's a brand new app, right? Brand stinking new. Here's my index. Great. Here's my index model. Great. Let's add a property in here. Right. And then in here, I'll set it. Okay. So now I have a model property I can use. Let's come back here. Let's add a section. Or, you know, we'll just use a section. I think we have one already. We have a script section, right, in all of them. Yep. So I'll just render something in scripts. We'll come down here, homepage, at section, scripts. One day we'll get IntelliSense for those things, won't that be glorious? At model.message. Okay, I'm going to run that. There you go. Bug confirmed. And then if I go back to hello, can't access the model from inside a section. Well, crap. Well, that's going to be the end of this then, because at this point now I'm going to go log a bug. Well, I guess I could do that in front of everyone, and I'll get that fixed, and then I'll be able to unblock. I might have to start using a daily build of the preview 2 bits to get this site running, which is a little unfortunate. That's just something that we missed. We didn't have a sample that was complicated enough that was using model stuff inside sections. That's not the right place, obviously. I need to log this in MVC. Yes, cliffhanger. Thank you, John. So let's log this issue. So cannot exception thrown when attempting to use model page model. Yeah, we'll just say model members in sections in a user page. Okay, where's my exception message? Get the raw exception down here. Oh my goodness, isn't that a lovely exception message? Because basically this is what we want. I think the stack's not going to do them much luck here. Okay. Exception. So repro. Create a new user pages project in Studio to open the index.cs file, model class file. Oops, too far. Add a property to be accessed from the pages CSHTML file. Remember how to do this. I think you have to indent that. You have to do this. Put it in line, couldn't I? Probably a lot easier. It'll be here. Grab that. I'll just cheat and I'll just initialize it in here. Okay. You hate muscle. Muscle memory is a terrible thing. I did it again. All right. 3 times in a row. Open the index.cshtml page file and attempt to render the value of message inside the scripts section. This one is going to have to require a multi-line one. 1, 2, 3. See HTML. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I might need to leave a new line. I can't remember how to do this, and we'll figure it out. Do that. Do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Look at that, it worked. Enter into the model the value of model meshes inside the. I have to actually update that to say model.message. New Razor Pages project, Visual Studio, open the index as your model file class. Add a property, check your Twitter DMs, Galloway. Okay. Add a property to be accessed from the pages CSHTML file. Great. Open the index as usual. Add temp to render the value inside the script section. Result. Actual result is that. Expected result. The message is okay. Result, it explodes. System environment to cast object of type little bit to type little bit. And I guess I could get the actual exception from over here, couldn't I? Model.message, because we like being pedantic. Good bug reports. That one. Back to here. Nope. This one. Edit this. Come down here. Come here. Put that in there. Perfect. Okay. We will label this a bug. I will stick this in the preview to milestone. I will put it in the. Oh, we don't have a Razor Pages project. I thought we did. Oh, we do. There we go. Razor Pages project. And submit. Well, thanks all for watching. I did get the application updated to 2.0, but we hit a wall trying to get it moved to Razor Pages. This is why we do app building, right? This is why we do this stuff, so that we can find these issues. Now, obviously, it would have been nice if I had found this before we shipped Preview 1, but the end of Preview 1 was quite rushed to get it done for build. But that's why it's Preview 1. So we will get this fixed. When I get this fixed in a package, we'll come back in here and I'll see if I can keep going, because I think this is going to be valuable, showing how to migrate an app that's using MVC with HTML views and migrate it to use the new hotness, which is Razor Pages. I haven't actually done that yet. Everything I've done with Razor Pages has been like green fields, but we did design them to work together because they actually are the same thing. Like, it's not a new view engine. It is the MVC view engine. It just now supports Pages. But obviously we've found a bug here. So thanks for tuning in, and I will let you know when we get that fixed. See you later.